All right. Woo woo. I will begin now. As soon as I get the camera set up, I don't have a stand, so I'm just trying to figure out how to get this thing to like balance. Is that good? I'm gonna leave the room for a sec to figure that out. So. Hey, it automatically focused. That's nice. Well, anyway. Today, we are talking about magic. And if this marker doesn't work, I'm gonna have a problem. Magic. I don't have very good handwriting. Now let's see. First of all, magic, spelled M, cursive X, 9, I, capital C. You know, obviously this is for the fictional series that I'm working on. This is not real magic, but let's pretend it's real for a second. Magic begins in your body, or like your being. Magic begins with you. You have a trichotic being. Trichotomy. I probably didn't spell that right. It means three. I forgot. 3. That's the important part. Let's just say 3 parts, I think. 3 parts belief. Trichotomy, belief of 3 parts, right? That's what I think it means. So, your trichotic being, let's say heaven and earth. The heavens and the earths, right? That might be a little small. The heavens, you, and your spirit. Your spirit is what connects you to the other realms of the heavens. The heavens are the realms of spirits. And you have a spirit, but it is bound to your soul. Your soul, whoa, bad triangle. Your soul is in the realm of ghosts, pretty much. It's not spirits, really. It's not bodies. It's between the two. And it's more like you in essence. It's not you as a spirit in the afterlife, and it's not you in your body. It's just kind of the idea of both. So the idea of you affects your soul, and that's your magic, right? Your magic is mostly in your soul and how your soul affects the realms, right? And your spirit connects you to gods and other spirits above you. Gods can affect your spirit, affecting your soul, affecting your magic, right? So then there's your body. Your body is what's on Earth. And Earth, the Earths, they are, what your body does is it's a catalyst. Now, your body is the catalyst of all of your magic, right? Not really. Your body is connected to your vital force, connected to your soul. The glue that binds them together, right? The lines here, these lines are your vital force. You know, you might ask, why do some things have why do we have a soul? Well, let's say this chair, it doesn't have a soul, right? This chair doesn't have a soul because it lacks a vital force. So we have a vital force. Life versus unlife, vital force. Let's just draw a line. Vital force, life versus unlife. Now, say I have a special connection to Expo Whiteboard Care Spray. In this particular bottle, even. I love this bottle so much. I think about it all day, every day. It's with me all the time. I love this bottle. It is my life. It's my life. This bottle's my life. This bottle shares my vital force because I think of it as a part of myself. My soul attaches to it because it's a part of myself. So my vital force is shared to that bottle. So me and the bottle are one. Right? That looks like a weird, whatever. Me and that candle, pig in a blanket, are one because we share the vital force. So it carries my soul, but not my spirit. So I now have the authority, the attunement over the bottle because I am one with the bottle. I have, as I said before, authority over the bottle because the bottle is part of me just as I have authority over my arm. And that gives me magic with the bottle. So, say I have a connection to this bottle so strongly, in fact, that I have telekinesis towards the bottle. Just with my brain, it could happen. Just with my will. Your will is highly related to the size of your soul. Correct? Yes, it is. Now, say I have no will to become one with that bottle, but I am deeply in love with this bottle for some reason. Well, I'm not going, unless I really, really love the bottle, I'm never going to be able to do magic with the bottle. Now, this analogy with the bottle would take quite a bit of it would take so much training to do that. That would take me to be an incredible sorcerer. I could probably never do that. Am I saying most magicians can't just link to the bottle? No. Too hard. No, he's not happy about it. He's sad. Too hard. Just too hard. But you know what you can do? That vital force. Say I love that bottle so. I love that bottle so it still has my vital force, but I'm not a magician. Me? These people are, okay, there's people talking to me. I'm not a magician, but I love this bottle so very much. And so it has that small amount of force, but it doesn't have enough for me to do magic with it, right? But it has it. Has a tiny connection to my soul. Say I die in battle with my precious bottle. I have died with my bottle that I love so much. And, you know, now that I'm dead, there's no vital force in my body. Yes and no's. And there's no vital force when I'm dead. Because it leaves, in a way. It leaks from you until it is no more. And your soul is separate from your body, and you you must pass on to the afterlife, right? You die. But I'm dead and I have my precious bottle. It has a vital force, and it's not a part of my being, is it? It has a vital force because I loved it oh so much. And I thought it was a part of myself, but it wasn't a part of myself. It has a vital force, though. So the vital force that's in this bottle after my death amplifies because the vital force from me goes into the bottle. And now this bottle is magical. You can see because it's radiating with the vital force. It's magical, but my soul, in this instance, has not passed on to the bottle, though it can happen. In this instance, the soul has not passed on to the bottle. If it did, it would have my magic. If the soul passes, no magic. If not, it is sealed. Important to know. If your soul in this bottle was sealed, if my soul was sealed in this bottle, and I had an innate ability for something, like say I was born with a part of my soul that could conduct fire like an orchestra. Phoenix from part 3, she does that. This bottle, whoever now has the magic bottle of fire can now conduct fire through the bottle because they have the authority, because they are attuned to the bottle now, because it has that force and they know how to use it. Say there was no fire, only force, and something were to be defeated, kind of follows with this analogy, with the bottle. Swords is usually swords, spears. That's usually the kind of thing that this happens with. Something is killed by the bottle. Let's say, or a ghost is captured with it. Yeah, let's go with that. A ghost is sealed within the bottle because you can either kill something and seal its soul, or you can seal a ghost. So let's say we sealed a ghost, a spooky ghoul. Woo! Is in the bottle. And the spooky ghoul, I don't know, can make me like my brain explode or something. I don't know. If the spooky ghoul gives you a brain blast, then now the bottle, whoever has this bottle, can give me a brain blast. The brain blast bottle is now a magical item. Magic items. Magic items are made with enchantment. Enchantment. If something has a vital force that is not a human being and a soul and a spirit maybe, but only a soul is needed, and a soul that uses magical powers is trapped within that vital force, you have enchantment. Enchantment could be seen. Phil's sword, part 3. Xander's sword, part 1. Pretty much any magic sword at all. Xander's sword, the Earthquaker, the Earthshaker, Earthshaker. This is Earthshaker. This is what Earthshaker looks like. Yeah, that's definitely what Earthshaker looks like. Yeah, see? Earthshaker. Big popsicle? Yeah, okay. Well, I'll come up with the design later. But let's say Earthshaker. Earthshaker has the soul enchantment of the hero of the valley, right? The hero of the valley. You guys remember the lore of the book I haven't written yet? Okay, the hero of the valley in the sword. The hero of the valley says he dies with his sword. So his soul does get stuck in his sword because he loves his sword oh so much, and he dies. So his soul is in his sword, right? All his vital power. And he in his death gets magic powers because he now has all of that power without a vessel. And he says, my sword and its weight are immeasurable. But anyone who proves to me that they're strong enough to be a hero can wield my sword through my power. His magic. The Earthshaker's magic. An enchanted sword. See? It all goes together. Now let's talk about sorcery. That's beyond enchanted weapons. Say I'm born with the ability to, I don't know, like shoot lasers out of my eyes or some shit. I don't know. Say I'm born with power to do something like that. Like, we don't need to say what my powers. Let's say I have powers. Me has powers. That's me. I'm doing this because I drew it wrong. Powers. Because my soul, when I was born, my spirit, even, when I was conceived, something in the the limbo of the infants. The limbo of the infants. Something in the limbo of the infants where babies come from. Babies come from the limbo of the infants. And, yeah, mommy, where do babies come from? They come from the limbo of the infants, son. Now, in the limbo of the infants, when I was conceived spiritually, not womb, you know what I mean. When I was conceived, something, a ghoul of some kind maybe, interfered with my spirit that had magical abilities, extra dimensional powers. And now me, I have powers. I have these powers now. And I can do what we call sorcery. The power coming from oneself to do magic. Examples of characters like this in the Wormhole series would be, obviously, Phoenix is the most famous sorcerer character, I would say, in terms of world impact. She's the most famous sorcerer in Von Halen. Kane, I think. I'm not so sure. Lucy. Ozzy in a way, not really. So Lucy, her power is part of her soul. David, too. They have those powers coming from what happened to them in the limbo of the infants. Because that's where babies come from, and they go back there when they die. And they go back. They do. The limbo of the infants, you respawn because you didn't get enough time to for them to determine if you go to heaven or hell or not. Pretty much, you just you respawn. Anyway, the more times you go, the more likely it is to happen. That's the whole past life thing or whatever. That's what that is. Okay. Spirit magic. Spirit magic is called Incantation. Incantation, or theurgy. Theurgy is the term, but incantation is, it's like a stereotype. Incantations are not something you have to do theurgy, but very common. Incantations are when you say, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to get out. That's what incantation is. It's when you incant out of your voice and say, Spirit, out. Fire, out. You, rock, will give me water. That is what incantation is. Incantation, theurgy, either comes from you having a connection to a god, a spirit, or your spirit, and attunement to spirits. So when you have theurgy, God, spirits, your spirit, whatever it is, your theurgy, it comes more from your connection to the spirit realm and something commanding it for you. So, for example, the prophets, which is very important to touch on, the prophets, pretend that says prophets. Now, the prophets, they say Alice. Alice, this is Alice. She has, okay, Alice and ice, right? Ice, that's not a snowflake. Okay, so Alice and her snowflake powers, her ice, her authority over the ice, correct? That is because she has a connection to Marlu. Marlu has given her authority to cold. She has the authority to cold through Marlu. She can ask Marlu to do anything, and if Marlu agrees, as long as it has to do with the cold, it will happen. That is Alice's power. But having that connection to a spirit such as Marlu, very powerful spirit, may give you, think Moses in the Bible, the ability to do things that God could do, just to a lesser degree. So Alice, like Moses, was told to tell the stone to spray water, instead struck it, and she still got water. Well, that is because that was his will through his connection to God. Alice, most of the time when she uses her power, is her connection to Marlu through her will. The effect of Marlu on her, that would be her authority, not authority from Marlu, but from Alice herself, because she has seen the holy presence of Marlu. Let's see, are there any other talking points that I need to cover on magic? That is pretty much a crash course in low-level magic. Everything you really need to know: enchantment, sorcery, theurgy. That's how all that works. Incantation. Okay. Well, let's see. How long have I been in here for? Hope I'm still recording. Oh yeah, 25 minutes. Well, let's cover one more thing in this empty space over here. One more thing is the realms and like spirits and stuff. I don't really know exactly. So like vital force, there's a couple other caveats. Is how vital force works is like your humors. That's like a touch. Your humors, so like your blood and your bile and your other bile. That's your stomach. And your lung, your phlegm. Those are the four main humors of illness. So like if you lose a lot of blood, your sorcery gets weaker, or your connection to your vital force, you lose it. And that's how vampires get their magic, is stealing yours. And they get bigger souls because it has to cover the rest of the vital force they have. So that you lose these things and you lose your vital force. More that aren't the four humors, rarely your spit. So like your spit from your mouth, and hypothetically, let's just say sperm. And like also, that's totally what a uterus looks like. Like egg cells, those have a lot. Those have more than blood. Spit doesn't really count. More than blood. But there's less of it. But less mass. So, hypothetically, I'm not saying that this is common, but like if a vampire did like eat your balls, it would be more nutritious for him than if he were to have sucked that amount of blood. But that's just like a thing. It's because it kickstarts babies. So like babies, that's a baby. That's what babies look like. When the baby is conceived, the sperm and the eggs, they go in the baby. It's like the spark, the ignition to your vital force when you're born, conceived, not born. When you're conceived, comes from that. So those are also humors, not just the main four of it. Those are the humors of illness. So like if you are hurt in battle and those come out, then you're gonna get spiritually sick and not just physically sick. So like your magic won't be as potent if you lose a lot of blood, or if you're throwing up, or if you're coughing up phlegm, because you're losing your humors. I guess not really if you but that doesn't count, because it's not enough for it to be a problem ever. Another thing is planar reality. Planar reality. So here's us on Earth. Earth. That says Earth. And here's the spirit realm. 4D space. So, pretty much, four-dimensionally speaking, when you go up, 4D up, from Earth, you get to the spirit realm. So if a spirit goes at 4D down, they go on Earth in like a little ghoul or whatever, right? So I'm fine. I need to take my allergy medication. Really gotta take my allergy meds. All right. We'll wrap it up shortly. So, we we cast a shadow, right? A shadow from the sun goes on the ground. Whatever light is in the 4-dimensional space casts a shadow on the 3D space. A little ghoul. A ghost. A ghost. That's what ghosts are. They're spirits in the spirit realm that we see the shadows of. That's why they're kind of all like kind of there, but not really there. It's because they're not there. That's their shadow. You're passing right through them because they're not in the same plane as you. And 5D space is Earth is on the right, technically, if you were thinking about it like that. What's it called? Magic World or whatever is on the left, and Cassie's world. Just bear with me. I forgot the names. These 3 realms are 5-dimensionally next to each other. So like Cassidy on the middle realm pretty much has full command over things that pass through. So it is kind of, the whole story of Wormhole really revolves around her will and what she wants to happen. Because she knows what's happening in both, and she sends people to either one. And that is how that works. Elder gods. Outer gods. Outer gods are what allow you to do theurgy. Outer gods have wills. Wills from the outer gods, like dragons, breathing fire. That is the will of Asherath or something, I think. I have names for them. Asherath wants dragons to breathe fire, so they do. But he cannot visit our realm because he is not allowed to. He would die. But this